Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham, buddham, buddham vande. Dhammam, dhammam, dhamman vande. Sangham, sangham, sangham vande. Buddham, dhammam, sangham vande. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Samanta cakkavalesu atra gacchantu devata saddhammang munirajassa sunantu sagga mokkadam dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Yoce vassa satang jive apasso dhamma muttamang ekaham jivitang seyo Passato dhamma muttamanti. Okay, dear friends in the Dhamma, now we are going to discuss Buddha's message. Here, I would like to explain the path that leads to increase the value of our life. You know, our life is so valuable. Born as a human being is a very rare chance and rare thing. All of us so lucky. We can celebrate our entire life as birthdays, not only particular day in a year. Every day we can celebrate our life, the value of our life, if we know the value of our life. Okay? According to Buddhism, we can think how we increase the value of our life. Buddha has explained his message, how we develop our life, how we increase the value of our life. The value of our life depends on how far we have developed our mind. Mind is the main thing, whether we are happy or not. Buddha said, our physical body depends on our mind. Mind is a refuge. Mind is a refuge for the physical body. And also, you know, although we have a mind, we have no real protection. We have no real refuge. Mind also should have a protection. What is the protection of the mind? Buddha says, the refuge of mind is mindfulness. Mindfulness also has a refuge, protection, security, or insurance. What is that? Liberation from negative emotions is the refuge of mindfulness. Freedom from evils, freedom from negative emotions. And also liberation also should have a protection. Enlightenment is the refuge of liberation from evil. All of these are interrelated. Body, mind, mindfulness, liberation, and enlightenment. Please say again. Physical body, Mind, mindfulness, liberation, enlightenment. Mind is the refuge for the body. Mindfulness is the refuge for the mind. Liberation is the refuge for the mindfulness. And enlightenment is the refuge for the liberation. Physical body, mind, mindfulness, liberation, enlightenment. Enlightenment, liberation, mindfulness, mind, physical body. Our success completely depends on how far we have developed our mindfulness. Mindfulness is the center. All Buddhist doctrines has been explained depending on mindfulness. Not only Buddhism, that a lot of psychiatrists have recommended to develop mindfulness and loving kindness for stress management. Last 4 or 5 decades, all psychiatrists have recommended to practice loving kindness and mindfulness for stress management. As much as we are clever to develop loving kindness and mindfulness, we can develop our mind and also we can overcome suffering. We can develop our success. We can develop our happiness. This is the path that Buddha also has explained to us very kindly. If you are clever to develop these both things, those are loving kindness and mindfulness, we are so lucky, then we can increase the value of our life. Okay? Buddhism says our all good qualities depends on how far we have developed intelligence, wisdom. Wisdom also very important. As much as we are intelligent, we know the way how to arise suffering. And also we know how to overcome suffering. Then one day Buddha has explained, I explained only 2 things in the world. What they are? Unsatisfactoriness and the cessation of unsatisfactoriness. Suffering and the cessation of suffering. He has explained only 2 things. On the other side, he has explained the only 2 things. Those are happiness and how to the way of happiness. Then as much as we are knowledgeable about this path, we are so lucky, we know the way how to overcome suffering, how to overcome unsatisfactoriness. In this path, Buddha has explained, when we are going to develop our intelligence, wisdom, then we should have 4 things, 4 factors. There are 4 things which are very important to develop our wisdom, intelligence. They are association with good friends who explain this path. That is the first step. It may be a living person, it may be a book, it could be a website, it could be some sermon in YouTube or Google. Then this is the very essential thing on the path of liberation. That is the first step. What is the first thing? Association with a good friend. It may be a living person, it may be our mother or father or our friend, a monk, a book, a CD, a website. These are the things we can see as good friends, noble friends. That is the first thing. We should have not only good friends, noble friends, but we should have good active listening, good attention. We should be ready to listening to what he says. That is also very important. Sometimes we meet some good friends, but we are not ready to listen to them. We always want to show our qualities. We are not ready to ask what they know. That is very important. Therefore, we should be sensitive to understand what they know and how they explain the path of liberation. That is very important. The second step is listening to his message. First thing is association with a good friend and listening to what he says. And third one, reflecting on what we are listening to. Not only listening to, but we have to reflect on it again and again in our day-to-day life. That is also very important. Sometimes people are so knowledgeable when they are in the Dhamma hall, in the shrine room. They are so knowledgeable, they are debating. They are listening a lot, but unfortunately when they go away, they have nothing. They don't reflect on it according to what they listening. Therefore, outside of the Dhamma hall, we have to reflect on what we are listening. That is also very important. When we drive, when we work, when we walk, when we cook, everything that we do in our day-to-day life from morning to night, if we are clever to reflect on this knowledge, then that knowledge is going to be permanent in our mind. Then it may be a skill in our life. Skill is not a problem for our life. You can drive. It's a skill. It is not a heavy thing to your life. It is not a problem because it is a skill. Then Dhamma also like that. When we practice Dhamma, actually, it is not a problem in our day-to-day life because it is a skill. We generate our mind, we develop our mind, we develop our wisdom. And also in the fourth step, we have to practice it. Furthermore, we have to practice it. How do we practice what Buddha taught? By practicing meditation. Knowledge is very important. First of all, we have developed our knowledge. On the other side, we have to practice it through meditation. Meditation also can be divided into two. One of them is concentration meditation or tranquility meditation, samatha bhavana. In the other side, insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. Concentration meditation means we focus our mind on the present moment. We have lost our beauty of mind because we always live in the past experience or in the future. Beauty is in the present moment. When you look at this environment, how nice it is. It is like a heaven. But although you are here, you think about your some negative experience. You have no beauty of this moment. Then, if you are clever to develop the ability of living in the present moment, it means we develop our happiness. By practicing concentration meditation, we trained our mind to live in the present moment. Especially by practicing breathing meditation, we trained our mind to live in the present moment. It doesn't sound that we forget our past or future. Anytime we can remember our past or future. We can arrange something for future. But we do everything living in the present moment. Not only concentration meditation, but Buddha has explained how we develop insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. You know, some people who practice meditation in this world, who have no clear knowledge about what Buddha taught, they explain only samatha meditation. They stop in samatha or concentration meditation. It means they go to the half of the journey. You know, with concentrated mind, we practice wisdom, intelligence, insight meditation. That is why, you know, when we were practicing loving kindness meditation, at the end of the loving kindness meditation, we practice impermanence. Every moment my body changes, my mind changes, my experience also changes. Everything is impermanent. This is the nature of the reflecting on impermanence, reflecting on vipassana, insight meditation. Both of them are interrelated. Buddhist meditation doesn't stop in concentration meditation. We develop concentration meditation to ease the insight meditation. With concentrated mind, little by little we practice our intelligence, wisdom. That is the main purpose of Buddhist meditation. Okay, when we discuss Buddha's message, Buddha's teachings, we can classify it in some kind of steps, levels. One of them is the things that we do to succeed in this life. There are some doctrines in Buddhism, how we be successful in this life, how we succeed this life. That is the very first level. Okay? Buddha has explained something, some doctrines, some messages, how we increase, how we develop our this life. What are the things that we can do to succeed this life? According to Buddhism, there are 4 things that we have to do to increase our this life. First one is education. Okay? Education is the very first thing that everybody should develop who wishes to succeed this life itself. Actually, in this society, in any society in the world, actually they practice these things. Education is more important. It is one of the duties of parents. Sippan sikkapenti. In Pali language, Buddha says, you should give the good education to your children. That is one of your duties. දෙගුරුන් විසින් තම දරුවන්ට දෙන නොමද දන නම් වියතුන් සභා මැද ඉන්ට ඉදිරිව සිලප දෙනුමයි. The most valuable thing that you offer to your children is the good education, which helps to your children to live in front of the educated person. That is one of the duties. Actually, not only this thing that you should do. We have to do other things. Okay? That is employment, economy, employment. We should have good jobs. We should have good financial situation. He who wishes to succeed this life. Okay? Employment. Here, when we study something, we should be knowledgeable that what we learn, what we study, it should be useful to our life. As an intelligent person, we should be knowledgeable what we study, what we learn. which is useful for our entire life. On the other side, when we earn something to live in this world, we should earn that money in righteous way. Easy money, easy going. If we earn something hard in the righteous way, you know that money is so valuable. It is so heavy. Therefore, Buddha has given some advices that how we earn money in the correct way. Especially, Buddhism has explained some special areas that in the health field and educational field. Healthy field and educational field. If we can do some jobs, it is more important. And also, Buddhism has explained some jobs that it is not valuable for our life, such as killing some animals and making weapons, making some drugs and poisons. Those are not the good jobs that we should do for our inner peace. And third one, what is the third one to succeed this life? Yes, we do everything for happiness. Health, very good. Health. Although we are well educated, although we have good jobs, if we are unhealthy, everything is useless. Therefore, we should consider about the health, not only physical health, but we should consider the mental health. Both of them are very important. And there are some advice. Okay. And the fourth one is morality. We should have not only education, employment and health, but we should have good characters, because we live in a society. Although we were born alone, although we will die alone, we live in a society with many people. When we live in the society, we should have some kind of appreciation from the society. That is why we should have good characters. Then morality or moral life is very important. There are a lot of doctrines that we can find in Buddhism, how we succeed in these four areas. Whether you believe or not next birth, everybody in this world would like to succeed this life. If they want to succeed this life, should practice, should develop these four areas. Okay, have you any question?
I think the morality is the one that right now, that's for the kids. They don't have I think the parents need to,
Yes, actually, especially parents should be examples for their children. And also, that is why Buddhism says, you should not give only education to your children. And kalyane nivesanti. You should advise to your children to practice good deeds. The special thing that we should give to our children is the Dhamma. That is why Buddhism says, giving Dhamma excels all gifts. When you offer some food to a person, it is useful one or few days. If you give some clothes, it is useful one or several years. If you give a job, it is beneficial for a few years, so most maximally 50 years. If you give a shelter to a person, it is beneficial for this life. If you give the Dhamma to a person, it is beneficial for his entire samsaric journey. That is why Buddhism says, Sabba Dhanam Dhamma Dhanam Jinati. giving Dhamma excels all gifts in this world. Through giving Dhamma, we pointed out the way how to live with happiness, how to overcome suffering. That is why it is more important. Okay, this is the first step. Whether we believe or not next birth, everybody in this society would like to succeed this life, then they have to develop these 4 areas. Okay? Fulfilling these 4 things is like having a bachelor degree, first degree. But Buddhism doesn't stop in this level. Buddhism encourages you to go to master degree too, the second level. What is that? As an educated person, after bachelor degree, you are going to master degree. Especially in the medical field, doctors can practice with just a bachelor degree. Before they go to giving medicine to patients, they have to practice master degree too, MD degree too. Okay? Then what is the master degree that Buddhism says? We should go forward. And the second level, we practice how we develop our mind little by little. The second step of the 3 meritorious deeds. 3 merits. Okay? We should develop not only above 4 areas, but we should give some food to our mind, mental culture. In this area, we have to practice 3 meritorious deeds. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Practice in generosity, practice in morality, practice in meditation. Okay? Generosity, morality, and meditation. Why do we practice these 3 merits? The reason is, when our mind is polluted with anger, desire, and ignorance, actually, although we are very educated, although we are very rich, although we have a good discipline, we have no real success, we have no real happiness in our life. That is why we have to practice good deeds. On the other side, we have to overcome evils from our mind. The main reasons, main factors which disturb our peace of mind are defilements or negative emotions. All of defilements, evils, can be divided into 3. They are desire, anger, and ignorance. When we are angry, when we are greedy, when we are ignorant, actually we have no inner peace, especially anger. Anger is the main reason that disturbs our peace of mind. If we are clever to overcome anger, it means that we know the way how to overcome suffering. If somebody wants to overcome anger, has to practice loving kindness. As much as we can develop loving kindness, it means we are on the path of liberation. Our success, our happiness depends on how far we practice loving kindness meditation in our day-to-day life. That is why in the discourse of Karaniya Metta, Buddha says, on the path of purification, at the very beginning, we have to practice loving kindness. If we don't practice loving kindness, it means we didn't start the path of liberation. until we practice loving kindness meditation, even though we are so knowledgeable about what Buddha said, we are not on the path of liberation. We mostly suffer because of others' mistakes, misbehavior. If we have an ability to understand other people as our only children, as the result of practicing loving kindness meditation, as soon as we meet a person, we consider that person like our only son. Mata yataniyam puttam. If we have this higher contemplation, how nice our mind. Then we can see the beauty of our life. We always try to help them. Not only we give food or clothes to others, we try to correct their way how they think. We try to give the harmonious vision, right vision, sammaditthi. And also by practicing generosity, we try to overcome greed or desire or lustful desire. This is also one of the reasons that disturbs our peace of mind. When we are greedy, even though we are rich, even though we are well educated, we have no real happiness. That is why little by little we should try to practice generosity. First of all, we can take care of our parents at home. We can help our close relatives, friends. Then gradually we can practice generosity for other people in the world. This is also one of the merits that we can practice in our day-to-day life for the inner peace. Practicing generosity, dana. In Pali language, it says as dana. Morality means good discipline, sila, virtuous life. That is also very important. The discipline in our speech and behavior. Kāyika vācika samvara. The discipline in our speech and behavior is virtue, morality. That is also very important. If we have good discipline in our speech and behavior, it means that we have no many mistakes in our life. And also other people can criticize us with details. Especially if we can save our words, then we are honored in the society. We mostly are blamed because of our words. Then if we have good discipline, it is very useful to live with happiness in this society. And third one is meditation. Meditation means mental culture. We give food not only to our physical body, we give the food to our mind too. These three things are very important that a person would like to live happier. Practicing merit means practicing happiness. Especially end of our life, we can be happy when we think our past. Punyam sukham jivita sankyami. At the end of our life, when we think our entire life, then we can be happy. I have practiced these kind of things. I have practiced these kind of medicine. When you think about your past, you are so happy. It means you are ready to go to a better life. Then you have no any combine with the people who you have just now, because you are ready to become a better life. Then not only end of this life, but in entire life we can be happy as much as we can practice these three meritorious deeds. This is the second level. In this level, we have a confidence that about the karmic law. That is the one of the concepts, one of the doctrine that Buddhism has explained. What is that? The understanding of karmic law. What is the karmic law? Karmic law means whatever we do with intention, with consciousness, we will have the same results. If we do something with a wicked mind, we will have the bad results, negative results, because of polluted mind. If we do something with a pure mind, we will have the fruitful results, good results, because of pure mind. This is the first understanding on the path of liberation. As much as we have this understanding, we are ready to overcome evil, and also we try to develop good deeds as much as we can. Sukho punya sauchyo. Practicing merit means practicing happiness. Then in our day-to-day life, in many ways we can practice these qualities. Especially, we should be grateful. That is one of the qualities. Buddhism says all good qualities depend on gratitude. If we are not grateful, we have nothing. Then everything that we do as good deeds actually depend on gratitude. Even you wash your body, that is also the way how you pay your gratitude. If you clean your room, that is also one of the things that you can pay your gratitude. Even if you wash your car, that is also gratitude. If we respect our parents, that is also gratitude. When you do your job in the correct way, honestly, that is also gratitude. In everywhere, we can see the gratitude. That is why Buddha says, all good qualities depend on gratitude. If you are not grateful, you miss good friends in your life. As much as you are grateful, it means you can find good friends who have good qualities. We have some kind of combines with our friends with good qualities. If we are weak with good qualities, it means we meet the same people who have weaknesses, who have less qualities. When we have more qualities, it means we meet the people who have more qualities. Then, if we can associate with some people who have more qualities, first of all, we should practice more qualities. More qualities, more good friends. Less qualities, less association with good friends. That is why we should try to practice good deeds in our day-to-day life. Especially, we should be grateful, and also we have to practice these three meritorious deeds as much as we can: generosity, morality, and meditation. In this level, actually, we not have a deep understanding about the reality in the world. But in this level, we are knowledgeable about the karmic law. Understanding of karmic law started not only from the Buddha. Even before Buddha, some people in the world, they believed the karmic law. Not only they believed karmic law, they practiced, they developed their mind to the maximum level as they could. They had seen some other beings throughout their psychic energy, divine eyes. And also complete in fulfilling these things, like having a master degree. Buddhism doesn't stop in the master degree. We go forward little by little towards the doctorate. Then that is the highest thing that we have to practice, how we overcome suffering completely, how we overcome the samsaric journey. This is the highest thing that Buddha has explained. In this level, we should have not only the knowledge of karmic law. In this level, we should be knowledgeable about the dependent origination, paticca samuppada, cause and effect, causality, the understanding of impermanence. This is the heart of Buddhism. This is the difference of Buddhism from all other teachings, sciences. That is the dependent origination. What is the dependent origination that Buddha has explained? What is our life? Our life is when we see something at that time, that is only our life. When we hear something, that is only our life. At once, only one sense acts. Only one sense is activated once. We have 6 senses, like ears, nose, eyes. These are the senses that we use to receive some experience about the world. Because these senses are so fast, we think that all 6 senses activate at once. But be sure, we have only one sense at once. When we see something, we have only that picture. When we hear something, we have only that sound. When we smell something, we have only that smell. But suddenly, it goes to our mind, finally we identify what we experience. This experience doesn't come to the present from the past. This experience doesn't go to future from the present. This experience that we get through our senses arises at the moment and also immediately it ceases. But unfortunately, because of ignorance, as the experience, we think still it is happening. When somebody has blamed you, as soon as you remember that person, what happens to you? Yes, we may get angry. What is the reason? Because of ignorance, we go to the past experience, not only going to the past experience, but we live in the past experience. Therefore, Buddhism says, a person can blame you once. When you are ignorant, you are blamed again and again. A person can blame you once. Because of ignorance, we are blamed again and again. That person who blamed you, sometimes he has forgotten. But still you are thinking. Still, when you remember that person, you may get angry. It doesn't sound that you have to forget it. Don't misunderstand. Buddhism never says to forget. Forgetting is a very big mistake. We should not forget, but we should forgive. Forgetting is a mistake. Forgiving is a good quality. As much as we practice mindfulness, our memory grows up. Memory is not the fault. What is the fault? Fault is the ignorance. What is the ignorance? When we remember something, what we experience, if we think still it is happening, that is the cause of suffering. That is the ignorance. Then Buddhism has explained how we overcome this ignorance or delusion, avidya, moha. Then, as much as we can understand the nature of impermanence, impermanence not only changing. Some people may say that impermanence means sometimes goes to another situation from the previous situation, it is changing. It is changing. Actually, it is not the impermanence. Impermanence means that when conditions are together, we have some kind of experience through our senses. When conditions separate, the experience ceases, without remaining anything. For example, when I do this sound, what is the impermanence that Buddhism says? Some people who may have not clear understanding, they may say that this finger can be changed. This sound can be changed. My ears can be changed. That is not the impermanence that Buddhism says. What is the impermanence that Buddhism says? This sound arises this moment. This sound doesn't come to present from the past. This sound doesn't go to future from the present. And also this sound doesn't belong to fingers. This sound doesn't belong to my ears. This sound doesn't belong to even my mind. But without these reasons, without these conditions, I have no experience about hearing. But this sound doesn't belong to anything. But however, when somebody blames you, what happens to you? You are going to relate that sound to that person. This person blamed me. Then we are going to combine this sound to that person. Actually, we can't combine that sound to a person. That sound arises because of that person, but that sound doesn't belong to that person. That sound even doesn't belong to my ear or my consciousness. This experience arises at the moment with the conditions. When conditions are together, the experience arises immediately without remaining anything. That experience ceases. This is the highest knowledge that Buddha has explained in his doctrines in dependent origination. This is the difference in Buddhism from all other religions and teachings. All other teachings explain their doctrines depending on that before we were born, there was a world. After we die, the world remains. This is true according to conventional truth. But according to ultimate truth, this is not correct. How the world arises? When we open our eyes, the world arises. When our ear arises, the world arises. That world arises and ceases at the moment. If we have full knowledge about this situation, we are ready to start the path of liberation. Until we are knowledgeable about this understanding, we are not ready to start the path of liberation that Buddha has recommended. We can practice some kind of qualities in some levels, some areas, and also we can receive some results. But it doesn't sound that we are on the path of liberation that Buddhism has recommended. That is why Buddha says, Janato ahang bhikkhave passato asvanang khayang vadami. I declare the cessation of suffering for the people who have this knowledge, who sees this message. He says, I declare the path of liberation for the people who know this, who see this. For example, when you start a new journey where you didn't go before, first of all, you should, what should do you have? You should have address. Without address, even though you drive fast, you can't reach the destination. Before you start your new journey, first of all, we should be knowledgeable where we are going to, where we are reached. Therefore, at the very beginning on the path of liberation, Buddha has recommended to know the dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada. When somebody has this knowledge, he should not only be knowledgeable. First of all, he should be knowledgeable. He should understand this reality through a noble person or good friend. Then he has to reflect on it again and again, and also he has to practice. First, we should have address. Then we should get ready our vehicle. Although vehicle is ready with gas and other utilities, even though you don't drive, you can't go to the destination. You have to drive. What is the driving that Buddhism says? The three disciplines, the three Trivida Siksha, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. These are the three things that we have to practice to the liberation. What is that? The first one is virtue. Virtue means we should have highly discipline in our speech and behavior. It is not just a normal discipline. We should have higher morality. That is why Buddha says, Paccavekkhitva kayana kammang khatabbam. Whatever you are going to do, reflect on it again and again whether it is good. Paccavekkhitva vāsāya kammang khatabbam. When you are going to speak or say something, reflect on it again and again whether it is correct or not. This is the first step, the discipline or virtue. But we should start here with the knowledge of dependent origination, with the knowledge of impermanence, and also not only virtue, but we have to practice concentration, tranquility. We should try to practice our mind to live in the present moment. We should train our mind to live in the present moment. The reason is that, always we live in the past or future. We have lost our beauty of life because of less ability to live in the present moment. Our proficiency, our skillfulness depends on how far we are clever to live in the present moment. Practicing concentration is like our GPA, grade point average. If our duration of living in the present moment is very high, it means our GPA is very high according to Buddhism. The reason is we are more happier. We are happier than other people, than, who are well educated, who are professors. We are luckier because we have more concentration. Not only GPA we should have, Buddhism has explained IQ too. intelligence quotients too. What is that? That's the third level wisdom. Wisdom means reflecting on impermanence. With concentrated mind, we think about impermanence again and again. We don't stop in concentration. You know, some people who don't have real knowledge what Buddhism is, they stop in the concentration or tranquility. They have an ability to live for a long time with a concentrated mind, but they have no end. You know, when Buddha was living, some other religious people told that, Bhante, Reverend Sir, you explain loving kindness meditation. We also explain and practice loving kindness meditation. Both of us are same, isn't it? They asked. Buddha said, no, you and I are not same. Why is that? Your concentration ends with concentration, but our concentration doesn't stop in concentration. We practice concentration to easy to the final destination, wisdom. With the concentrated mind, we reflect on impermanence, ceasing and arising, arising and ceasing. Every moment our experience arises at the moment, immediately without remaining anything it ceases. Day by day, we trained our mind to reflect on this higher understanding. If our duration that we think about impermanence is very high, it means our IQ is very high. Our intelligence quotient is very high. Then, you know, when we practice concentration and wisdom to the maximum level, Buddha said that persons living one day is more important, more valuable than the other people who haven't this understanding for 100 years. If somebody lives for 100 years without this understanding, without this practice, his knowledge is not important. His life is not valuable. But you know, if somebody can live at least one day with this understanding and practicing, his life is more valuable than other people.
Just a question. I don't know how much you know about Jainism.
Yes.
Were the teachings of Jainism the same as Buddhism, or how was it different?
Yes, that is why I told you that they stop in concentration. They don't go to the knowledge of impermanence. Their teachings also depends on concentration, conventional truth. That after experience they think still it is happening. That is why I explain all other religions and all other doctrines except Buddhism explain their doctrines depending on conventional truth. That before we think or before we were born in the world, there was a world. After we die, the world remains. That is true, but only in conventional truth. But when we go to the next level, according to Buddhism, according to ultimate truth, the world arises and ceases at the moment. It doesn't come to the present from the past. It doesn't go to the future from the past, from the present. On the other side, other religious people's liberation is after death. That is the main difference. They may think that their liberation, their freedom after death. But how about Buddhism? Buddhist liberation is in this life. Sanditthiko akaliko. Visible result. Immediately effective. We can become the liberation, enlightenment, not only hereafter, not only next birth. In this life itself we can achieve liberation. After we enlighten, we can live more with other people. until we passed away, until the parinibbana. But as soon as he enlightened, he has eradicated his all sufferings, all defilements. But still he lives to the benefits of other people. His liberation is not hereafter, not next birth. His liberation in this life, visible results, immediately effective. That is one of the differences in Buddhism than other religions. Even Jainism has explained their liberation after death. But Buddhist liberation, Buddhist enlightenment can be seen in this life. That is one of the differences. As much as we can practice the things that is useful to succeed this life, education, employment, health and morality, that is the first level, like having a first degree, bachelor degree, and also practicing generosity, morality and meditation, like a master degree, to fulfill our good qualities, and also practicing these three disciplines to liberate, like having a doctorate. We should not stop until doctorate according to Buddhism. It is not just like doctorates from that we receive from universities. According to Buddhism, these are the steps towards that we should practice, little by little, day by day. If we can develop these qualities day by day, especially although there are a lot of qualities that Buddhism has explained in its teachings, finally Buddha says we have to practice only two. What they are? Mindfulness and wisdom. Mindfulness means living in the present moment, aware of your mind and body. Whatever we behave, we should be aware of our mind and body. Not only awareness of mind and body, but we have to reflect on impermanence again and again. With this understanding, when you drive on a street, you are the valuable person on that street. When you practice these qualities in a house, you are the more valuable person at home. When you practice these qualities in a city, you may be the most valuable person in that city. When you practice these qualities, sometimes you may be the most valuable person in this world. It means you are so valuable person. Then day by day, we should increase the value of our life if we are intelligent, if we are skillful. Day by day, we should go forward on this path. It means day by day, we are overcoming suffering, unsatisfactoriness. It doesn't sound that we are lazy. Actually, we are more active than we were before, after this experience. Sometimes some people have misunderstanding that after this experience, we may be very lazy and crazy. But we are so active person. Arahantas, Buddha, slept. Sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 3 hours. They dedicated their entire life for the benefits of the people after this experience, until they passed away. They dedicated their entire life for the benefits of the people in the world, kindly, intelligently, wisely. Okay, this is the way how we develop, how we increase the value of our life. When our life is very valuable, our parents' life also valuable. When our life is valuable, then our clothes, our instrument, our devices also valuable that we use. That is why, after Arahantas passed away, There are things that they used are honored in this world by the people. Okay, even Buddha's bowl are respected in this world because that bowl was used by the Buddha who enlightened. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask. We are going to end of our sermon. Okay, thank you for your participation, and I encourage you to increase your GPA and IQ day by day. Okay, then you are so valuable person. It means you are so happy. Nobody can disturb your peace of mind. If somebody can disturb your peace of mind, be sure the fault is yours. Actually, nobody can disturb our peace of mind if we are qualified in these levels, mindfulness and wisdom. When you see something, when you hear something, if you get upset, be sure that fault is mine.
And like if somebody screams at you for nothing, so you just have to calm down and just let it go, or how do you react?
Actually, if we have practiced loving kindness, we know the way how we face those problems. We know 50% how we face this situation if we have practiced loving kindness. On the other side, when we practice these qualities, our positive energy increases. Then some negative results which arise because of our previous karmas, they go down. Because we can reduce some negative results of our past karmas. Some problems come to us because of our karmic energy that we have done in our previous lives. When we generate our positive energy, we can reduce some karmic energy, karmic results. On the other side, other 50%, we should wear a guard. Okay? Both of them are important. In one side, we should develop our good karma. On the other side, we should wear a guard. What is the guard? Practice in mindfulness and wisdom. Okay, that is why Buddha said, if you have close friends or relatives, please give this understanding to them too. Because mostly we suffer because of our close relatives and friends. If they are knowledgeable about this path, they also become better persons. They also try to practice good deeds in this life. Okay, that is our duty to help others. Okay, thank you for your participation. Now, we are going to transfer these merits to our beloved departed relatives too. First of all, you came to the temple with devotion, and you observed precepts, and also you meditated and listening to Buddha's message, Buddha's teachings. By practicing of these meritorious deeds, we accumulated a lot of meritorious deeds. By the power of all these merits, may our departed relatives also achieve these merits, and may they enhance their psychic energy, and also may they attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our beloved departed relatives too. Reciting the stanza. Idam me ñāti naṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti naṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti naṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels also receive these merits. Receiving these merits, may they enhance their psychic power, and may they also attain final bliss of liberation. May they keep their eye on you too. With that intention, let's transfer these merits, guardian deities and angels to recite in the stanza. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu tvang sada. By the power of all these merits that you accumulated at the moment, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. May all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantaha ca niddukkha, bhayam pantaha ca nidbhaya, sokam pantaha ca nissoka, anto sambe pipanino. Dukin pelena sat, dukin midetva, bien pelena sat, bien nati vetva, sovinte venasat, somnas vetva, nitin mehamasat, suapat vetva. May the triple gem bless you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.